Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. So today's pick a card reading is all about how other people see you. Now I've made other videos like this in the past, but in those videos I was mainly focusing on how your person of interest or your crush sees you. In this video, I'm mainly going to be focusing on how other people see you in general. So just the general vibe that you give off and the first impression that other people get from you. If you guys are interested in the other videos that I mentioned, they're going to be in my Pick a Card playlist on my channel, so make sure you check those out. Alright, so I have 4 different groups for you to choose from today. This is going to be group number 1, group number 2, group number 3, and group number 4. As usual, the timestamps for each group are going to be in my description box down below as well as in the comment section. So once you choose your group, you can just scroll down and click right ahead to your reading. Thanks so much for tuning in. Let's go ahead and get started. Hello group number 1, welcome to your reading. Before I dive right into the reading, I just want to take a minute to talk about my setup here. So for each group I've chosen 2 planetary cards, 2 animal spirit cards, and 5 major arcana. Now the reason why I've chosen to work with just the major arcana instead of the whole tarot deck is because I feel like the major arcana represent the archetypes that we all have within us much better than the minor arcana. So starting off the reading, we have the planetary card Venus and Pluto, as well as the animal spirit cards Starfish and Scorpion. I'm going to talk about these cards a little bit first, and then I'm going to get into the major arcana later. So right off the bat with Venus and the Starfish, I feel like the first thing that people instantly notice about you is just how attractive you are, how beautiful you are. You might be one of those people who gets a lot of comments like, you should be a model, or you should be an actress or an actor, because you just have one of those faces. You come off as somebody who's very stylish and very put together, but I feel like there could be some kind of artistic or creative flair to your style and the way that you present yourself. You just look like somebody who puts a lot of thought into the way that you present yourself to the world. And people definitely notice that you go the extra mile when it comes to your style, your hair, your makeup, just your appearance as a whole. Because of that, some people might see you as kind of vain or full of yourself. But honestly, this is mostly just them projecting their own insecurities onto you. It says more about them than it does about who you actually are. But I feel like you've probably dealt with people like that a lot in your life. You might even be one of those people that others just get kind of jealous of for no apparent reason. Like other people just seem to be kind of threatened by you regardless of whether or not you did or said anything to them to make them feel that way. Unfortunately, that is just the double-edged sword of being a naturally beautiful person. It has its perks, but at the same time, it inspires a lot of insecurity in other people. All in all though, people find you to be very charming and pretty easy to talk to and get along with. They see you as somebody who's very charismatic, and you just have this natural magnetism about you. People are very drawn to you naturally, and others just like to be around you. There's something very pleasant about your aura and the way that you carry yourself. It's very attractive to other people. With Pluto and the Scorpion both showing up in your reading, you definitely come off to other people as pretty intense. You have a very strong presence and a very strong personality. Other people might find you to be a little bit feisty, a little bit sassy, but there's definitely this general vibe that you give off of like, don't mess with me. It's very much like, I know my boundaries, I know my worth, and you better treat me accordingly and you better respect me. You know, it's that kind of attitude. And people find that very refreshing. You know, other people like that about you a lot. Though some might be intimidated by you for sure. I mean, that just comes with the territory, honestly, for anybody who is a confident, self-assured person. And you do come off very confident. There's something kind of dark and mysterious about your vibe, and it makes people want to know more about you. You might even come off as somebody who has a lot of secrets, or maybe like you've just been through a lot and you have kind of a darker past. There's also definitely just a raw like sexuality and passion that people pick up on from you. You just seem like the kind of person who knows what they want, you know who you are, and you're very comfortable within yourself. There's definitely this fire within you, this passion. You have this drive to get what you want, and you might even come off a little bit competitive because of that. Like something about your energy just feels very head bitch in charge, you know what I mean? I feel like you like to be the one to call the shots, you like to be in charge, you like to be at the top, and you're definitely used to getting your way. You can be very persuasive and even a little bit manipulative. You definitely know how to get what you want out of people, no problem. In terms of zodiac signs, the ones that I'm picking up on the most are Scorpio, Libra, Aries, and Taurus, as well as Capricorn a little bit and Gemini a little bit as well. So you could definitely have some of these signs in your chart in a prominent position, especially if it's your rising sign or your 10th house cusp, your MC, because your rising sign is how you come off to other people, and your 10th house is your public image and your reputation. Now, if you are not any of the zodiac signs that I mentioned, don't worry about it. You know, that doesn't make or break the reading. If this resonates with you, it resonates with you. But I just like to throw out the zodiac signs as sort of an extra confirmation for people. Okay, so moving on to the major arcana portion of the reading, you guys got the Lovers, the Tower, the Empress, the Devil, and the Emperor. So with the Lovers here leading this portion of the reading, I'm definitely feeling a very flirtatious energy from you. I feel like you're one of those people who just comes off as naturally flirty. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're into a person, you're just kind of like that with everybody, which definitely could cause some confusion. I feel like you might be one of those people where a lot of people end up having a crush on you because they thought that you were into them or they thought that you were flirting with them, but that's just kind of how you are with everybody. So there definitely could be some miscommunication or some misunderstanding when it comes to that. People find you to be very charming, very charismatic, very magnetic, and they find you to be very persuasive. Like, you definitely know how to use your body language and your words to your advantage. You know how to get the reaction out of people that you want. And so you might have a reputation as a bit of a player, even if that's not the case. People very much see you as like the heartbreaker or the femme fatale kind of archetype. With the Tower card here, this is talking about how you can come off pretty intense to other people. You have this passion about you, you have this fire within you, and it catches other people off guard when they first meet you. There's definitely this kind of feisty side to you that I'm picking up on. Like, you're not the kind of person that people want to mess with. You're not the kind of person that people should try and test because it's just not going to work out well for them in the end. With the Empress here, this again is talking about your beauty, your style. There's something kind of regal about the way that you carry yourself, especially with the Emperor being here as well. You just have this quality about you that sort of sets you apart from the rest, and you very much stand out to other people. Like, you're the kind of person where when you walk into a room, heads turn. The devil here is talking about how you come off a little bit dark and mysterious to other people. There's even like a touch of danger, like just a little hint of it. Again, it's that sort of heartbreaker or femme fatale energy that I was picking up on. But there's definitely something very seductive about you and your aura. You know, the way that you come off to people, it just sort of draws others in. The Emperor card here is talking about how you come off as one of those people who is used to getting their way. You know, it's very easy for you to command a room and to just sort of take charge, which is why there might be a bit of an intimidation factor when it comes to you. Other people might not be used to somebody being so confident and sure of themselves. And again, that's just other people projecting their own insecurities onto you. It says more about them than it does about who you are and your character. People will always be intimidated by somebody who knows their power. That's just kind of the name of the game. You know, like I said, it's a double-edged sword. It has its perks, but it also has its downside. I'm guessing from what I can feel from your energy that you probably couldn't care less what other people think. You're just gonna keep doing you, and that's exactly what you should do. Alright guys, those are all of the messages that I have for you. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope that it resonated with you. If you like this reading, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more content like this, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Bye guys! Hello group number 2, welcome to your reading. So before I dive right into the reading, I just want to take a minute to explain my setup here. So for each group I've chosen 2 planetary cards, 2 animal spirit cards, as well as 5 major arcana. Now the reason that I've chosen to work with just the major arcana instead of the whole tarot deck is because I feel like the major arcana really embody the archetypes that we all have within us much better than the minor arcana do. The minor arcana are more so about just everyday life, whereas I feel like the major arcana really encapsulate personality traits a lot better. So you guys got the planetary cards Jupiter and Neptune, as well as the animal spirit cards Peacock and Dolphin. I'm going to speak about these 4 cards a little bit first, and then I'm going to get into the major arcana later. So with Jupiter and the Peacock, I feel like you come off as somebody who is very enthusiastic, very optimistic. You come off like a very positive, bubbly kind of person. I feel like you really try to see the best in people as well as in the world at large, and people find you to be very uplifting because of that. People really enjoy being around you and just being in your presence because you're a very high vibrational person. People get the impression that you have a very big heart, you're very compassionate, you really care about the well-being of others. With the Peacock in general, you're definitely a very beautiful person, but the true beauty of who you are as a person, it comes from the inside, and it very much shines through. It's the reason why people are drawn to you. I feel like you come off to others as sort of the creative, artsy type of person. There's something almost a little bit eccentric about the way that you present yourself and your style. And people really like that you're not just trying to look and act like everybody else. You know, they like that you are a very authentic person and you are who you are. I feel like when other people talk to you, they get the impression that you're very intelligent and wise and maybe even well-traveled or just a very cultured person with Jupiter's influence there. People find your perspective on life to be very interesting. They feel like you have a lot of insight, and generally people really enjoy the conversations that they have with you. I feel like you give off kind of a spiritual vibe, especially with Neptune and the Dolphin coming through in your reading. There's something very dreamy and romantic about your energy. People see you as somebody who is very kind, very compassionate. There's something kind of calming and healing about your presence, and that might be part of the reason why people just really enjoy being around you. You definitely could be an energy healer or an empath. I'm just feeling quite a spiritual energy from you. I feel like you're a very intuitive person and you're very in tune with the subtle energies all around you. There's something very perceptive about you. Like you're able to read people very easily, and throughout your life, other people have probably opened up to you a lot. Like I feel like you're one of those people where others will just tell you their whole life story unprompted because they just feel very comfortable around you. You just sort of have a way with people. It's very easy for you to get other people to open up and to trust you and to let their guard down because you do seem very trustworthy. You seem very kind and open and understanding. Okay, so leading the major arcana portion of your reading, we have Temperance. Now, this card I feel like is talking about how you come off as somebody who's very wise, very intelligent. You have kind of a spiritual vibe about you, and your aura, your energy is very calming and very healing to other people. People also tend to see you as somebody who truly wants to help other people. You might even be working in the healthcare profession where you actually do take care of other people on a daily basis. But regardless of whether or not that's the case, people just get the sense that you enjoy helping other people. The Wheel of Fortune here, I feel like is talking about your optimistic nature. You know, it's talking about how you come off very high vibrational. And because of that, other people feel uplifted in your presence. Other people really enjoy being around you because they feel good when they're around you. There's something very positive and sunny and bright about your energy, especially with the Sun card here coming through. I feel like the World card here is talking about how you come off very open-minded to other people. You come off like very adventurous, very fun, you know, just sort of easygoing. You definitely could have traveled a lot in your life, and people can sense that about you. Even if you haven't traveled a lot, you just sort of come off like a very cultured person. People also get the sense that you are very accepting, and I feel like you have friends from all walks of life. Maybe you have a lot of friends from other countries or different cultures from you, but there's just something very broad-minded about your energy that I'm feeling. Like I said with the Sun card earlier, you just come off like a very sunny, bright, positive person. This is also talking about how you come off very charming to people. You know, there's just something very warm and inviting about your energy. And again, you have a very uplifting effect on other people because you're so high vibrational. The Chariot card here, I feel like is talking about your enthusiasm that you have for life. Again, I'm picking up on kind of an adventurous energy, and it's really fun and really exciting. And again, it just sort of adds to that natural charisma that you have. I feel like you bring joy to other people. You bring happiness into people's lives. Maybe you have a really great sense of humor and you're always making people laugh. But I just feel like that's a big part of who you are. You truly do bring joy to people's lives. I also feel like you're a very passionate person, and you probably have pretty big dreams, or maybe you did when you were younger, especially with that Neptune energy there. People who are influenced by Neptune energy, they're always dreamers, especially with Jupiter being here as well. Jupiter is all about big dreams, expansion. You know, Jupiter is the energy of like go big or go home. And that kind of energy is very contagious. Other people like to be around that because it's inspiring to them. You know, it causes them to want to go out and chase their dreams as well, or go on adventures, or travel the world, or whatever it may be. But it is very inspiring. In terms of zodiac signs, the ones that I'm picking up on the strongest are Sagittarius, Pisces, and Leo, as well as Aquarius's energy a little bit. So you could definitely have some of those signs in your chart in a prominent placement, especially if it's your rising sign or your 10th house, because the rising sign has to do with how you come off to other people, your personality, and just your physical appearance as well. And the 10th house is all about your reputation and your public image. So both of those placements can really affect how other people see you. But don't worry about it if you don't have any of those signs in your chart. You know, that doesn't make or break the reading. If this resonates with you, it resonates with you. I just like to throw out the zodiac signs that I'm picking up on as sort of an extra confirmation for people. Alright guys, those are all of the messages that I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope that it resonated with you. If you like this reading, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more content like this, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Bye guys. Hello group number 3, welcome to your reading. Before I dive right into the reading, I just want to take a minute to explain my setup here. For each group I've chosen 2 planetary cards, 2 animal spirit cards, and 5 major arcana. Now, the reason that I've chosen to work with just the major arcana instead of the whole deck is because I feel like the major arcana embodies the archetypes that we all have within us much better than the minor arcana. The minor arcana are more so about everyday life, but I feel like the major arcana will be able to reflect your personality traits and the way that you come off to the world much better. So you guys got the moon as well as the sun, and you got the animal spirit cards fish and oyster. I'm going to speak about these 4 cards a little bit first, and then I'm going to get into the major arcana later. So with the moon card and the fish, there's something about your energy and your aura that's very calming, very peaceful. You seem very relaxed, very at peace with yourself. There's something kind of gentle and soft about your nature, and people pick up on that right away. There's something very dreamy and almost spiritual and ethereal about the way that you come off to people. You could be a creative type of person. You might be an artist or a musician or a singer or a writer. People get the sense when they meet you that you're very deep, that you have a lot of wisdom. They can tell that there's a lot more going on under the surface when it comes to you. There's a lot more than meets the eye. I feel like you hold back a little bit, especially with the oyster here. It's like you have something within you that really wants to shine through, and other people can see it. There's this luminous, ethereal quality to you. Even if you're maybe a little shy or reserved, it definitely shines through to people. You have this subtle magnetism about you that really draws others in, and people are very curious about you because you don't really reveal a lot about yourself. You don't really put yourself out there that much, is what I'm feeling. But regardless, you still shine. People still notice you because there's just this magical quality about you. There's something really unique and mesmerizing about you and your energy. You guys got both the sun and the moon in your reading, so there's definitely this duality to you and your nature. It's very much like darkness and light. I feel like you're very much in touch with your darker side, with your shadow side, and you're very comfortable with that part of yourself. You've definitely explored the depths of your soul, the depths of your emotions. And I feel like throughout your life, you've possibly been put into these situations that have kind of pushed you to your limits. I feel like you've experienced some darker things throughout your life, and these experiences have very much shaped you. You know, you're very wise. You were probably told a lot growing up that you're wise beyond your years, that you seem really mature for your age. You've probably been told a lot that you're an old soul. People just sense that about you when they meet you. They can just tell that there's so much more going on underneath the surface. There's more than meets the eye when it comes to you. I feel like people can tell that you've been through a lot, that you have a story. And that's what I meant earlier when I said that I feel like people see you as kind of an artist, because artists always have something within themselves to share. They always have a story, something that makes them unique, something that they're meant to share with the world. And a lot of the time that comes from a darker place, that comes from experiencing traumatic things and undergoing extreme transformation and healing. You have this natural magnetism about you, but it's a subtle magnetism. And people might not necessarily pick up on it unless they actually stop to have a conversation with you and get to know you a little bit. Because again, I feel like you're one of those people that's maybe a little bit more reserved. Like if people really want to see what's behind your walls, they have to put a little bit of effort in. You might even come off a little bit secretive. There's just this veil of mystery kind of surrounding your energy and your aura. And I feel like you can be a bit of a chameleon if you want to be. Like you definitely know how to sort of just disappear if you don't want to be seen or if you don't want to deal with people. I feel like you typically aren't trying to put yourself in the spotlight. But I feel like when you do put yourself out there and open up to people a little bit more, you truly do shine. Like there's something just mesmerizing about your energy. You could have a really hypnotic voice or hypnotic eyes, or the way that you carry yourself, the way that you move could just be really graceful, really fluid, almost like a dancer. But there's just something about you and your presence that's very captivating. So moving into the next portion of the reading, you guys got the High Priestess, Justice, the Moon, Strength, and Judgment. So with the High Priestess here, I feel like this is talking about your mysterious nature. You come off very intuitive, very wise, spiritual. People very much see you as an old soul. With Justice here, this is talking about how there's this duality within you, there's this balance within you. You come off very at peace with yourself, very calm. I feel like people get the sense that harmony is very important to you, that you're very non-confrontational. You don't really like anybody to be upset. You don't really stir the pot at all. You kind of just stay in your lane and you just sort of focus on what you're doing. You're not really bothered by other people. You just seem like a really chill person, and other people really vibe with that. Other people like to be around that because there's no drama with you. With the Moon card here, this is speaking about how there's a lot more going on under the surface when it comes to you. People get the sense that you have a lot of depth. and they get the sense that you don't really open up that easily. So because of that, again, there's this sort of air of secrecy and mystery surrounding you. With the Strength card here, you seem like somebody who's very resilient, very strong. The energy that I'm feeling, it's sort of like a survivor. Like you've gone through some crazy shit and lived to tell the tale, you know? But people can tell that you have a story. You have gone through something incredible in your life. You've overcome incredible things. And I feel like you're meant to share those experiences. You're meant to express those things. But I feel like for now, maybe you're just not quite ready to do that. And that's absolutely fine. You know, it's your story to tell. It's your life. It's your past. But there is something very healing and cathartic about letting something out that you've been holding on to for so long. The Judgment card here, I feel like, is talking about this release that you're sort of building up to. It's like you're right on the verge of something. When you really crack open that shell, that's when you're really going to shine for the world to see. I genuinely feel like it's going to be really healing for you, and I feel like it's going to be healing for other people as well. I feel like people are going to be very moved by your story. They're going to be very moved by what you have to share. And honestly, I feel like it could help a lot of people who've been through similar experiences as you. All in all, the main theme that I've been picking up on throughout this whole reading is that there's something within you that really just wants to shine through. And as much as you've tried to kind of stay out of the spotlight and hold back, people can still sense it about you. They can see it in you. They can feel it when they're in your presence. And it's part of what makes you so intriguing to other people. They want to know who you really are. Alright guys, those are all of the messages that I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope that it resonated with you. If you like this reading, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more content like this, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Bye guys. Hello group number 4, welcome to your reading. Before I dive right in, I just want to take a minute to explain my setup here. So for each group, I've chosen 2 planetary cards, 2 animal spirit cards, as well as 5 major arcana. The reason I've chosen to work with just the major arcana by itself versus the entire tarot deck is because I feel like the major arcana embody the archetypes that we all have within us much better than the minor arcana. The minor arcana are more so about everyday life, whereas the major arcana do a much better job at reflecting personality traits, and I feel like they'll be able to capture the way that you come off to people much better. So you guys got the planetary cards Mercury and Uranus, as well as the animal spirit cards Unicorn and Moth. I'm going to talk about these 4 cards a little bit first, and then I'm going to get into the major arcana later. With Mercury and Uranus being the 2 planets that you guys got, I feel like you come off to others as very intelligent, creative, expressive. There's something very unique about you. I feel like you maybe even give off kind of an eccentric vibe to other people. But there's just something very special about the way that you present yourself, whether it's your physical appearance or your clothing or your makeup or your hair, or maybe you have like a lot of piercings or tattoos. I just feel like there's something about your appearance that kind of sets you apart from other people. It makes you more noticeable. You kind of stand out in that way. I feel like some of you guys might struggle a little bit with nervous tension or anxiety when it comes to socializing with people or meeting new people. Some of you might feel as though you come off a little bit awkward. But I feel like if you do come off as kind of awkward. It's more so in a humorous way. Like, people find it funny and it just sort of adds to your charm. There's definitely a subtle charm and magnetism that I'm feeling from your energy with Mercury here, as well as some of the other cards in your spread. I feel like you have a really good sense of humor and you're quite witty, you're quite good with your words. I feel like you know what to say and when to say it. And you know how to get the reaction that you want out of people through your sense of humor and through your words. You're somebody who has a very high mental capacity, and so because of that, you're always thinking about things and your mind runs really fast. You're kind of always like 10 steps ahead of other people mentally, so you sort of know what somebody's gonna say or how they're gonna react before it happens. With the unicorn and the moth being the two spirit animal cards that you got, you definitely come off as a little bit whimsical. I feel like you come off as a very open-minded and accepting person, like very non-judgmental. And I feel like a lot of your ideas or your beliefs seem a little bit out there to other people. Like, I almost feel like when it comes to the way you view the world, you're a little bit ahead of your time. Other people see you as somebody who's very curious in nature. You're always wanting to learn more about people, about the world. I feel like you genuinely enjoy the company of other people, but at the same time, there is a part of you that's more of a loner. I feel like growing up, you didn't quite fit in with everybody, and that may have been very isolating for you. You may have felt very misunderstood. And so even though you do enjoy the company of other people and you find other people fascinating, you're kind of used to being on your own. I feel like you are a very independent person, but I don't feel like you are completely introverted. I feel like maybe the majority of you guys kind of lie somewhere in the middle. Alright, so moving on to the major arcana, you guys got the Star, the Fool, the Hanged Man, the Magician, and the Hermit. With the Star card here, I feel like this is talking about how there's just something about you that genuinely stands out. There's something about you that's very special and unique. And people definitely pick up on this about you when they first meet you. They see you as somebody who's very open-minded, very accepting of all walks of life, of all different possibilities, very broad-minded. And people can tell that you don't entirely fit into society's norm or the social constructs that exist in the world. And I feel like you are very much at peace with that. Maybe it bothered you when you were younger because you felt kind of misunderstood or as if you didn't really fit in anywhere. But honestly, I feel like nowadays, especially with the younger generations, people are becoming more and more open-minded and accepting of others' differences. It's not perfect, and we're not where we need to be, but I feel like as a society we have made a lot of progress when it comes to inclusivity and accepting each other for our differences. But it's people like you who have caused that change in society. It takes people who are brave enough to go outside of the social norms and just be their authentic selves to actually create change. And when other people see you out there just being yourself and doing your thing, it inspires them to do the same. I feel like you are a somewhat polarizing person to other people because of the fact that you are so authentic. You just are who you are, and you're proud of who you are and you're not trying to hide yourself. And because of that, I feel like there's been people throughout your life that you've just rubbed the wrong way. And it has nothing to do with you. Like, it's not your fault. It says more about them than it does about you. It's really just a matter of them projecting their own insecurities onto you because they're not comfortable being their authentic self. I'm feeling very strong Aquarius energy from this reading, so I feel like a lot of you could have Aquarius strongly in your chart. I'm also feeling Gemini and Virgo's energy strongly as well. The Fool card here, I feel like is talking about how you're just kind of a free spirit, or at least that's how others perceive you. Other people see you as somebody who's very happy-go-lucky, whimsical, carefree, just sort of doing your thing, you know? And you don't let other people get you down. You could be quite adventurous. Some of you guys might really like traveling and just experiencing new things. You like to broaden your horizons. You like to learn new things because it helps you to grow as a person. I feel like you do have a very youthful energy to you, but at the same time, when other people meet you and talk to you, they get the impression that you're very wise. With the Hanged Man here, this again is talking about how you're a very open-minded person. And when other people meet you and speak to you, you really help them to see the world from a different perspective. You open their minds as well. You introduce them to new ideas, new ways of thinking. People find your conversations to be very enlightening, and they usually leave the experience feeling pleasantly surprised. Because in a lot of ways, people aren't expecting you to be the way that you are. The Magician here is talking about how you have this really magical energy. You have this very magnetic, unique aura about you, and it draws people in because they want to know more about you. They find you intriguing. I feel like you do come off to others as very spiritual, very philosophic, very intelligent. I feel like you're quite eclectic when it comes to your knowledge and your interests. And I feel like you're passionate about a lot of different things. You're a very multifaceted person. And because of that, you can get along with tons of different people. You can get along with people from all different walks of life, and you have friends from all different walks of life. This is also talking about your quick wit, your intelligence, your humor, your charisma. You are very good at connecting with other people and making friends and socializing. Even if you have a little bit of anxiety about it at first, I feel like the more you become comfortable around somebody, you really open up and you're able to shine when it comes to your communication. The Hermit card here, I feel like is speaking about how there is a part of you that's kind of a loner. You are a very independent person, and I feel like you had to be on your own a lot growing up, or maybe you've just gotten used to it. But you are very self-sufficient, and I feel like you do enjoy your own company. You like your alone time, because that's when you can really explore things mentally, spiritually. You learn a lot when you're by yourself. You think about a lot of things. I feel like mentally you are very deep, very inquisitive, and you're able to sort of put the pieces together and see things from a higher perspective, because the Hermit does talk about enlightenment. So again, there's that whole spiritual vibe that you give off to other people. There's more to you than meets the eye. that's very apparent to people upon their first conversation with you. Alright guys, those are all of the messages that I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope that it resonated with you. If you like this reading, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more content like this, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Bye guys!